Welcome to the first video safety briefing of the 2021 FIA World Endurance Championship. Because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic around the world, we will have to continue to do things differently to allow us all to do our jobs as safely as possible. The briefing is split into two parts. All members of the media attending the event in Spa must watch part 1. Any member of the media who intends to take a tabard to go trackside or in the pit lane during the event must also watch part 2. This video replaces the on-site media safety briefing. There will be no face-to-face briefings held at Spa-Francorchamps due to social distancing measures. You are required to sign a waiver to say you have watched and understood this briefing. To ensure you have watched this video, I will say 2 code words, one for journalists and one for photographers' TV crews. You must write this code word on your waiver. You must print and sign the waiver and bring it with you to Spa. Please hand the signed waiver to Catherine in the media centre. If you have any questions about the information in this video, you can either email me or ask me at Spa. All members of the media must watch this part of the video. Part 1 covers the safety measures we are implementing around the FIWC paddock and in the media centre. On arrival in Spa-Francorchamps, every single person needing to enter the circuit except those living in Belgium must have a PCR test on site. The location of the test facility is shown on the screen. Once the PCR test is complete, you must go to your hotel and wait in your room until you receive a negative result. The result from the PCR test should be available within 12 hours. Once you are allowed to enter the circuit, please follow the rules carefully at all times. Wash your hands on a regular basis at the wash hand stations provided. Stay in your designated work area in the media centre. Maintain social distancing of at least 2 metres. Respect the one-way system in and out of the media centre and obey the signs in the press room. Do not enter a garage unless you are a member of that team's bubble. For interviews, journalists need to arrange to meet a driver or team member outside the garage area. The WC will provide an interview zone in the paddock for journalists to meet with team members. Photographers must not cross the pit lane line into a garage unless you are part of that team. Face masks must be worn when in contact with drivers, team members and officials at all times. The code word for journalists is Tintin. Photo shoots must be conducted outside the garage area. The post-qualifying and post-race press conferences will be held in the briefing room with only the winning lineup of each category, one category at a time. The press conference will be conducted by the WC media delegate and be filmed live via a new designated WC Media YouTube channel. Details of the YouTube channel will be shared in due course. If you do not intend to go trackside or in the pit lane during the event, you do not need to watch the rest of this video. If you're a photographer or TV crew, please continue to watch. While most of the information contained in this video briefing is the same as the briefings you may have received in the past, there are some changes you'll need to be aware of, so please continue to watch until the end of the video. Tabards must be worn at all times when working trackside and the tabard numbers must be visible. Track tabards are only valid for trackside locations. Pit lane tabards are valid only for the pit lane, they are not valid for trackside locations. A deposit of €250 for the WC or €50 for the support race is required and we will only accept a completed form with credit card details. Cash deposits will not be taken for tabards. There are several red zones at Spa-Francorchamps. You must not shoot from these areas. The red zones are all marked with a notice at each end of the red zone. As last year, the red zone at Eau Rouge Radion has been extended down to the bottom gate. Do not shoot from the grass area between the 2 service road gates on the outside. The area on the inside of La Source is a red zone for the start of each race. After one racing lap, the area will be free to be accessed by photographers wearing pit lane tabards and fireproofs. You must have a barrier between you and the track at all times when the track is live. It is forbidden to touch, lean on, stand on or go over the barriers. You may not cross the barriers or place your cameras on the barriers. If the barrier is 1 metre high, think of it as 3 metres high and treat it like a wall. You do not touch the wall. If you want to cross the track between sessions, you must have permission from a marshal before you cross. Do not cross the track without permission. The only way to access the area on the outside of Eau Rouge is by crossing the track from the end of the endurance pit lane. Once you have accessed this area, you will have to stay there for the entire session. You must have permission from the marshals before crossing the track at the start and the finish of the session. You must be aware of your surroundings at all times. You must be able to hear as well as see what is going on around you. If you're using a radio, you must use an earpiece in one ear, not both ears. Please use the type of earplug or ear defender where you can hear ambient noise. The use of iPods, MP3 players and noise cancelling headphones to listen to music while working is strictly forbidden. The pit lane is a working area and can be dangerous. Do not be a tourist in the pit lane. You may only access the pit lane if you have a pit lane or TV tabard. Fireproofs and a helmet are required for all track sessions for the WC. The fireproof must be the standard of FIA 8856-2000 or the newer FIA 8856-2018. You may only work in the pit boxes in front of the garages or on the pit wall. You may only cross the pit wall by the shortest route. Do not work in the fast lane. This is classed as a red zone. Do not enter a garage. The pit lane line in front of a garage is the limit. Do not check your pictures in the pit lane. If you need to check your pictures, move to somewhere safe out of the pit lane. Do not look at your LCD screen or mobile phone in the pit lane. No tripods are permitted in the pit lane, even on the pit wall. Do not crowd the pit lane. Stand back from the cars to allow teams to work. Please give priority to the live TV crews. The grid walk in Spa-Francorchamps will not be open to the media. It will only be open to teams and drivers to ensure the minimum amount of people are on the grid before the race. The code word for photographers is poireau. All photographers will be given access to an area near the podium after the race, but social distancing must be maintained at all times. Do not try to access the pit lane before the checker flag unless you have a pit lane tabard, fireproof and helmet. Only the championship photographer and TV crew are allowed near the podium area. The photo windows and the photo platform on the outside of turn 1 will be restricted for the first 3 racing laps of the total 6 hours of Spa-Francorchamps. If you don't have a turn 1 sticker, do not attempt to access this area for the race start. The photo windows further down at La Source will be unrestricted, as will the photo windows in the public area at the top of Eau Rouge. Do not block service road access. The roads must be kept clear at all times as this is an emergency vehicle route. TV camera tripods must not block the service road. Do not leave your camera bag or other equipment on the service road. Do not stand in the openings onto the track used by emergency vehicles. Media shuttles will be available for photographers to use during all sessions, but limited to a maximum of 3 passengers. Face masks must be worn at all times when using media shuttles. Shuttles depart from the inside of La Source. You may use a bicycle or scooter on the public roads around the circuit. You must leave your bicycle scooter out on the outside of the fence and access the track location through the marshal gates. For the WC, a photographer's pass only grants you the right to take still images. You cannot take video images on any device with a video function without permission. This includes mobile phones, GoPros, DSLRs. TV crews must have received permission to film the WC prior to the event and must have a sticker on all cameras. All members of the media must obey the instructions from the marshals and officials. They are there for your safety. In the case of disputes, please do not attempt to solve problems yourself, but report them directly to the FI media delegate. If you have any questions regarding this safety briefing, please email me. Thank you for your attention.